Back with you on Hitting Hard with John Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head over to youtube.com. Put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your browser. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a review. Tell us what you think. Give us a comment. And also, you can find us free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Always follow me on Twitter. Give me a follow at JMCH316. Well, the Braves didn't get swept in Arizona. Yay, golf clap for all of that as they get ready to take on the Colorado Rockies for this weekend series before coming back home and playing again. They've got all the dregs of the universe: Colorado, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Washington. Remember what today is. Today is June 2nd. See that calendar down there? June 2nd is the date today. Remember what we talked about with the Mets, where they got to head out to play the Dodgers, Padres, California Angels, and then the back home with the Milwaukee Brewers. So, but that aside, really and truly one of the better surprises this year has been how good William Contreras has been for this team. 3 hits again yesterday. You look at his season stats, he's got, in literally just 19 games played, he's got 5 doubles, 7 homers, 14 RBI, and he's hitting .302 with a .380 on base, .714 slugging, which comes out to a 1.095 OPS. So what do you do with him? The Braves are in a quandary because you say to yourself, okay, well, we know he's got issues behind the plate. Maybe we can DH him. Okay. But ideally, your outfield on a day-to-day basis would be Ronnie in right, Michael Harris in center, Adam Duvall in left. And then that means that Ozuna has to DH. Well, if Ronnie's not playing in the outfield, you have to have his bat in the lineup. So that means he has to DH. So you're in a pickle because you don't have an easy spot to put Contreras in. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and this may not be popular, but it's the right move. Go ahead and make Contreras your everyday catcher right now. And I like Travis d'Arnaud, and I don't think Travis d'Arnaud is done, and I don't think his tank is empty or anything like that. I think you go ahead and make Contreras your everyday catcher. And I've said this before. When I heard about the idea of we're going to play him at third, we're going to play him in left, or this and the other, okay, that's beer league softball. When you get to the major league level and you start talking about changing positions, you might as well be playing at some rec league in Decatur on a Saturday afternoon. That's beer league softball stuff right there. Put Contreras behind the plate. Is he a great defensive catcher? No. Does he look like he's been better this year? How much of, in all honesty, when Contreras is caught, how much have we really talked about his poor defense? Or was that more of a last year thing that we spent a lot of time doing it? Put Contreras in, keep d'Arnaud as your back. And I understand you paid d'Arnaud a whole bunch of money, but with all due respect, even with the win yesterday, you're 10 and a half games out. 10 and a half games out. You can't monkey around. When all the pundits about, well, Memorial Day and, well, June and, well, a third of the season. Well, all that stuff has come to fruition. All of these little check marks that the baseball nudniks like to just kick the can down the road of, well, we'll wait till here. We'll wait till here. Well, eventually you start waiting till here and there's no more here. And while I do expect the Braves to start getting on a little bit of a roll here because of the competition that they're playing, you got 10 and a half games. And you need all hands on deck right now. If you want to tell me that Contreras catches every day and then you bring in d'Arnaud as a defensive sub late in the game, fine. I'm fine with that. Even if that means I have to burn my second catcher, I'll roll the dice on it. But what's best for the Braves is to get his bat in the lineup. And the way their outfield and DH situation plays is that, you know, unless you're telling me when you rest Riley, you stick him at third or you rest, but that's not realistic. Hell, we've been talking about when is Adam Duvall going to get a day off? They're going to have Adam Duvall running around with bloody stumps for legs before he gets a day off. So if you want your outfield to be Duvall in left, Harris in center, Ronnie in right, that's the ideal plan. With Ozuna being the DH, stick Contreras in there at catcher. Go ahead and pull the trigger now. I've asked the question. You're going to do this in 2 years anyway, right? In 2 years, when d'Arnaud's contract expires, you're going to make Contreras the full-time catcher and hopefully bring back d'Arnaud as your backup catcher. maybe you just have to pull the trigger now, or at least until you get some things figured out. But much like with Ronnie, that I have to be cautious with him and not overplay him in the field, but I have to have his bat at the top of my order every single day. You can't afford to just sit Contreras and just hope that you can find a spot for him that day. And look, even as the full-time catcher, he's not going to catch 7 days a week, right? You know, Darno's going to have a couple of starts mixed into all of that, right? I mean, you have to budget and you have to not overwork your catchers. No catcher plays 155, 160 games. You know, even JT Realmuto, who is as good a two-way catcher as in Major League Baseball, he's not playing 160 games. He's not playing 150. Those guys will play 128, 135 games or whatever like that. You got to give those guys some rest. So it's not like Contreras is going to get a chance to play every day, but because of the quandary that you're in, where you don't have an easy spot to just stick his bat in the lineup because of the outfield and DH situation. I mean, Contreras, by the way, is not a worse defensive catcher than Marcell Ozuna is a worse defensive outfielder. And then, oh yeah, when you get Rosario back, he's another outfielder that you're going to have to put into the mix as well. There just isn't going to be an easy spot for Contreras to be in this lineup unless you go ahead for now and you pull the trigger and make him your everyday catcher. And I understand you gave d'Arnaud a nice little 2-year extension. He's getting a decent amount of money. He's the veteran. It's not that he's been bad, okay? But, you know, d'Arnaud, to his credit, 35 games that he's played, 17 RBI, hitting 33 strikeouts, by the way, to 3 walks. All right, well, Contreras has 14 RBI in barely half the games that d'Arnaud has played. Right now, for a team that struggles to hit with runners in scoring position, create more runs, okay, and at times is going to have to outslug some teams because either their pitching kind of falls short or what have you, Contreras' bat is more valuable to the lineup. It's just too valuable right now for him to sit. And you don't have an easy, good position to do it in. He's not going to play third base. It's not beer league softball to just move him into here, there, and everywhere, or whatever like that. Remember when they tried all that with Johan Camargo? When did Camargo have his best season? That was when he played full-time third base, and he wasn't moved to left, and he's playing right, and he's playing second, he's playing short. When he had his best season as a major league, he was in one position. He played third base for the Braves, and that was when his best year as a major leaguer. Not when he played 7 different positions, not when he was the ultimate utility guy and all that kind of stuff. When he locked down in one position, do that for Contreras as well. Let him be the guy that is your starting everyday catcher. Okay. All you're going to do is flip the roles a little bit. And at this point, you have the guys under contract that you have. I don't care if d'Arnaud is making good money. It doesn't really matter at this point. That means nothing. What's most important right now is you have to find a way to win ball games. The best way to win ball games is to have Contreras' bat in the lineup every day. And the only spot that you can really do that is to make him the everyday catcher. All right, speaking of the Atlanta Braves, are they starting to build their next quote unquote big 3? We'll talk about that next. It's Hitting Hard with John Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.